Hey, welcome to John's Non Sequitur. Today we're going to be talking about nursing stereotypes. Can you guess where this idea came from? This idea was from my wife, Kayla, who is a nurse. See, she gave me some restrictions such as don't drop F-bombs and keep it under 5 minutes. So I'm going to do the best I can to try to put an end to some of the nursing stereotypes there are out there. The reason that this upset me personally was because I was watching an episode of Family Guy and they made fun of nurses, and I was like, well, that's pretty effed up. Is that good? Just effed up. That'll have to work for now. So I haven't actually watched Family Guy since. You know, they have all these other stereotypes going on in that show, and I can handle all of them, but when they start saying that nurses are, stupid... Well, I live with one. They're not stupid, okay? I think the problem is that because nurses aren't doctors, people are like, well, obviously they're not as smart as doctors. And then, the way people think, we've talked about this before, they go, well, if they're not as smart as doctors, they're dumb. Because that's, the jump that you make because you're not thinking clearly. No one ever does. My wife took 3 years of school to become an RN, 4.5 to get her bachelor's in science and nursing, and she's currently becoming a nurse practitioner, which in total will bring her schooling to 7.5 years. That's nuts! That's like 25% of how long I've been alive. So, yeah, it takes some work to get there. Okay, here's some of the stereotypes. First of all, the sexy nurse. There's not a chance in hell, and I hope this doesn't offend my wife, and she knows, okay, it won't offend her, she knows this. There's not a chance in hell you could ever consider a nurse who's actually doing her job to be in any way, shape, or form sexy. She's usually covered in piss or shit or blood. I mean, my wife comes home and she's like, don't touch me. I'm covered in blood. And off she goes to the shower, so... No, they're not sexy, unless they're not doing anything, in which case, maybe if you like people who are lazy and dumb, that's your thing. Okay, also, we have nymphomaniacs. Probably not. And finally, what is this? Handmaidens? I think what that means is that they wait on the doctor's hand and foot. Well, they kind of do. But from what I gather, they spend an inordinate amount of time with the patients, whereas the doctors go in and they're like, 5 minutes and they're out. And a lot of times, this is not my wife talking, okay? I've heard this from other people. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here, but I've heard that a lot of times when nurses will call doctors, the doctors will lose their shit, that they actually have to do something, or they're in the middle of something, and then if you don't call them, they're like, why didn't you call? You should have let me know, and it just... I think the doctors kind of treat the nurses poorly sometimes, not everywhere, okay, doctors, don't get mad at me, but I think sometimes they get treated poorly by the doctors. So, in summation... Stop treating nurses like shit. Am I allowed one swear word? Like shit, is shit okay? I said it twice, but... let's see. Here's some of the stuff that they do. Well, that's on the list. They take care of poop. They give the pain medicine. They give the antibiotics. They do the suctioning. They do the dressings. They do the chest tubes. I don't know what any of that is. Do you? Probably not. And that's why they're a nurse, and you're just pissed off that the doctor's not in the room because nurses don't smell like doctors. Doctors are smart. I want a doctor. Shut up. All right. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do the robot sex episode that I've been promising for like a week. See you then.